We are back with Therapy Thursdays, and this is, again, opportunity to make you better in whatever aspect you feel attaches to your life. We're giving you conversation topics for you to think about and say, you know what, can I apply this to my life? And do I need to have deeper conversation about this? And a lot of times, the answer is probably yes. So with that, Therapy Thursdays with New Insights LLC brings Jacqueline in with us. And Jacqueline, I am just grateful for opportunities to be able to talk with you because I feel like I pick up a lot during these conversations myself. But on top of that, I really feel like if I had a diary, that all of these topics you're actually pulling out of my diary because they are literally things that I have in my life as well. So first, great job on choosing topics for us to talk about.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this one because this is something that all too often I have conversations with my friends about regarding feeling guilty about times like when we take a day off or if we call in sick, especially. It's like if you're sick, you're sick. I mean, what do? You can't, but you feel bad about putting work on other people and other expectations and deadlines. But self-care is incredibly important.
This is one of my very favorite topics. And I will start with my favorite line is you don't necessarily have a right to self-care as much as you have a responsibility to take care of yourself. You have a responsibility to take a break when you need a break. You have a responsibility to do the things for yourself that yourself needs. When we talk about self-care, a lot of times people think about really what's self-soothing, right? Like taking an extra long bath. Nothing wrong with self-soothing, or a little extra ice cream or something that makes them feel good in the moment. But when we talk about self-care, what we're really talking about is doing those things that actually make you set up for success in the future. You actually have a responsibility to self-care.
Yeah, we do. And self-care is, again, not feeling guilty about a time when you have to take a day off, but also taking a vacation. Like everybody says the phrasing, life's too short, right? Life's so short. You got to go and enjoy yourself. You don't want to be working your life away, but it really is beneficial. And even employers a lot of times will encourage and say, you need to take time off.
Yeah. And here is the reason is rest is part of doing your best. Rest is a part of doing your best. So often we get these messages, you have to do your best. You have to go all the time. You have to leave it all out on the court is a great one. But do your best, do your best, do your best. And here's the deal is do your best is for a finite period of time. Doing your best means, right? We don't ever stop. We don't ever rest. We don't eat the chocolate. We don't take a nap. We don't think about it in terms of doing what we need to do to rejuvenate ourselves. We're not wired to work all the time. Work is valuable. There's a lot of value in work. It gives us a sense of purpose. It gives us a sense of connection. And there's a lot of health to working. But you actually have a responsibility to take care of yourself. And here's why employers actually will encourage people to take their vacation is because you come back better. You come back rested and rejuvenated. A lot of times, if you are just going, you can work as hard as you want to. But what happens is your A+ effort now becomes a C+ outcome because you're so tired and burnt out.
Wow. That is, again, hitting the nail right on the head there. I'm gonna prove my my musical boundaries here with the Cage the Elephant line of lyrics with "Ain't no rest for the wicked and money don't grow on trees."
Yeah.
There's always opportunity to make money. There's always going to be. There's plenty of it, especially in today's day and age. You need to be able to enjoy. If anything in the past year has taught us anything for year and a half of life is that life is precious, life is important, and you don't get these opportunities to remake memories. Your kids only stay a certain age for so long, and then before you know it, they're going to be out in their own world and doing things. So taking that time.
And it really, Matt, it's about that balance between looking at today and looking out tomorrow, looking at the short-term goals and looking at the long-term goals. Because even as you were talking about, you can always make money. I can hear the next person saying, yeah, but I need that money to pay for college,
Mhm.
right? So I'm sacrificing today so that my kids can have a great college, but don't forget that your kids still need you today.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that balance
100%.
between short-term and long-term thinking, you have a responsibility to take care of you, because your children, even if we talk, if we talk about children, need you to be the best, mom or dad that you can be. And if you're tired all the time, that makes it hard to give that A+ effort, to everyone and everywhere.
Yeah, you mentioned thinking too, and that's another part of self-care too, is having this positive mindset. Because again, you're setting an example for everybody around you that hears you, but also setting that example for yourself. And self-deprecation is something that happens all the time, and I am super guilty of it as well. And I'm trying to squeeze in the booth or squeeze past somebody, and be like, "Oh, got to get my belly in here," and trying to make a light joke. But really, I mean, those are things that actually are real, we'll say, thoughts or feelings at some level that we need to be aware of, and start thinking more positively about ourselves.
Yeah, in all dynamics, we get better outcomes when we have better input. So the more we're taking care of ourselves, the better we're going to be able to take care of other people. If you're worried about your coworkers having to do more work, that's why we don't all take vacation at the same time. There's an expectation that it goes back and forth. If you're sick, stay home, because if you don't stay home, it's going to take longer to get better. If you don't make time for your wellness, you'll make time for your illness. You won't have a choice. If you don't make time for your wellness, you're going to be forced to make time for illness.
Yeah, wow, that is so true, so true. Yeah, and again, all of this stuff, like I said, hits so close to home here, and I know that there is going to be somebody watching this that says, right there, that hits me. That is something I need to be better on. How
And
do we have more?
a
Good.
lot of times, Matt, people will feel bad about taking time for themselves because other people will have an opinion about them taking time for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do we handle those situations?
Well, that's where we come back to empowerment. I know what's right for me. I know what I need. These are my priorities. And remember, it's okay for other people to have different priorities. It's okay for, one person to really value time off, and it's okay for another person to really value not taking time off. And you got to decide, where do I fit in this place? Do I want to save all my vacation time for a rainy day or in case I get sick? That's your priority to do that. Do I want to use all of my vacation time because I believe in living life today? That is empowerment, and you get to decide that.
Yeah,
And
I think that.
so recognizing that other people are going to have an opinion, and that's based on their priorities. Now you can take their advice and say, does that fit for me?
Yeah.
But if it doesn't fit for you, it's okay if it doesn't fit for you. And it's okay if they don't agree.
Right. And you'll hear people say, I'm like, "Oh, they're sick today." And things. Here's the thing. You know what? They don't know, and whatever, but ultimately it's you know it's best for you. And you know what? If they don't agree and if they don't like it, guess what? Have we ever had progress, really real progress in our country, where everybody agreed on everything and said, you know what, let's follow what they think and their standards? No.
Right.
Right. There you
Right.
go.
It is okay for people to have a different opinion from you.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say we hear this and we say, you know what, I need to start being nicer to myself because my self-deprecation is really a negative thing, or I feel guilty about taking a vacation or taking time off, or I want to have more conversation about this. You offer a really cool opportunity where it's a 15-minute free consultation to just have a conversation and see if this is a good fit for somebody, right?
Yeah, a lot of times people they just get stuck. They know what they need to do, but they just can't make that change to get going and do the thing that they already need to do. That's a great place for therapy to figure out, why am I stuck and how do I get unstuck and how do I get going where I want to go? So you can give me a call, 269-325-5056. You can call me or text me. We'll set up a 15-minute consultation, talk about what's going on, and see if this is a good fit and something that we can help you with. We do have other therapists who have great skill sets and different dynamics, and a lot of the same dynamics. So we'll talk about, is it a good fit, and where can we get you set up to get your needs met and get your goals met.
I would say that this would also be a good part of self-care, would it not?
Absolutely. Yeah. Going to the gym, saving money, eating healthy, doing the therapy, listening to the, podcasts, reading books, I love to encourage people to read books about money, because the rule is how you do money. That's how you do life. And so even just in the way that you think about money will help change the way that you will think about life. So even just reading, going to the gym, all of these things, getting enough sleep. Getting enough sleep. I always like to encourage people to think about, when I go to bed, that's when I start my day. I don't go to bed when I'm just done with my day and have nothing else to do. I go to bed to start my day. So getting enough sleep for what you're going to need to be doing the next day is self-care.
Yeah. Wow. This is all great. Seriously. I start my day when I go to sleep, because we don't make time for it. We're like, oh, I got to watch one more episode. And that, 100%.
Which would be self-soothing. That last episode of mindless watching TV, that would be self-soothing. Nothing wrong with that, except that tomorrow you're going to pay for it.
Right. Oh my goodness. All right. One other tip that myself and Brad Allen like for our own kind of therapeutic purposes: beach therapy. Go and sit at the beach. We don't do that enough. We live so close to it. And I told one of our people here, I said, hey, when you're out making runs and traveling to see some of your clients today, take 5 minutes. You're going to be right there. Take 5 minutes, go sit at the beach. The ocean waves, or the lake waves, I should say, and the sound of that, it's relaxing, self-soothing, but that's a first step here to something we can do. Yeah. Awesome.
Love it.
Amazing. I really appreciate you joining us here today. And the phone number one more time, if somebody wants to make an appointment with you.
269-325-5056.
There you go. Therapy Thursdays. We look forward to our next conversation with you.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you, Jacqueline. Therapy Thursdays with Southwest Michigan's 97.5 Y Country.